The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's Platinum webinar with your host, Todd Walters.
I like that sound, Platinum webinar. We're going to change the title to Platinum Millionaire Agent Maker webinar. How about that? That'll work. So, look, I want to welcome everyone to today's program. I know that you're very busy, so making time out of your very busy schedule to jump on today's webinar with me, it's a big deal, and I won't let you down. I'll make sure it's well worth your while. So here's what I recommend you do. I really would try to close your door, turn your cell phone off, close your email so it's not going off while you're watching on your computer screen. Grab a notepad here, and let's drill down a little bit on our real estate business. So a little bit of twist in what I emailed you. As you know, typically around this time of the month, and Andrea was disagreeing with me that it was the third week of the month. I tried to give you the calendar on this, Andrea. Like the first week of the month, me and Craig. Second week, lead conversion call. Third week, I get to interview one of our special members here, and you're like, no, this is actually the second week of the month. And I'm like, no, this is the third week of the month. It's only the 14th, but it's the third week. So we were having some fun with that.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's funny how it can only be the 14th of the month, but we're into the third week. Like, how's that work? And I was asking myself the same question, but I remember we did a call on Thursday, which was actually the first, I guess, or second, or something like that. I don't remember what it was. The third. It was the second. So we had an early call in the month, so that kind of set us up a week earlier. But anyway, neither here nor there. That doesn't matter. But typically 4 webinars, some sort of training, coaching apparatus going on 4 times a month. And just to reiterate that, typically around the first Thursday of the month, Craig and I will get on a webinar with you and work on the real estate business in some form or fashion, rainmaking activities, try to keep you focused on that. On occasion, I'll pull something out of the archives that I think is really, really good. Like a couple of weeks ago, for those of you that were on that webinar, it was a webinar that Craig and I did and recorded that's actually in the library that deals specifically with your websites and the crap that's on there that shouldn't be. Like I can't imagine, I can pull up just about any member's website here, and there are things going on with your landing pages, at least some of them, that most of it you don't even know about that shouldn't be there, that's impacting your response. So, like I said, the hardest thing we do is getting people to copy. So so my recommendation is that you become a mystery shopper of your own business. It is a rainmaking activity for you to mystery shop your own business, and I highly recommend you do that on a regular, occurring, and recurring basis. Okay. As a matter of fact, I sent out an email just a little bit ago to all of you from Jonathan Leahy. Jonathan sent me a note about doing an autopsy for one of his listings that one of his agents had listed on his team, and the deal had, I guess, expired. And Jonathan, rather than roll over, picked up the phone, called the seller, did a little autopsy, figured out he needed to go meet with them and change the outcome, and he did, sold the house, and rest is history. So. And I highlighted really what an autopsy call is, and it's just going behind your agents on your team and making things happen where they couldn't. Okay, that's a rainmaking activity, changing the outcome. So Craig and I deal with that the first week of every month. The second week of the month is lead conversion training. So I want to talk to you and your team, anybody responsible for converting leads to appointments. I want to spend that week, that webinar, working on that and just drilling down, dealing with those issues. We'll do some role playing and that sort of thing. And the one we did, I guess it was last week on that, the role playing. Some of you guys really need to be role playing with your team. Okay, some of the role playing I did with some of your team members, not so good. So, look, here's how it works. You are as good as your team. That's how good you are. So you can be the greatest agent on the universe, but if your team's not so productive, if the agents on your team aren't so great, you're probably not going to want to lead with your team. In my training going back, and that's the passenger training, and it's booking. You don't want to be in front of that thing. Holy moly. So anyway, so lead conversion on the second week of the month. And the third week of the month, I usually like to fish around and talk to one of our platinum members that's just doing really well. So I want to try to get Jim on today's call because I've been working with him on a few projects, Jim Buttrell, but he's tied up right now still in a half-day seminar that James is doing. So he's not going to be able to give him. But I've got his marketing material and some others that I want to highlight and talk about on today's webinar for the next hour. Okay? So I want to go through some to show you some things that you should be doing right now to get more business and solve some of the issues and problems maybe that you're facing right now. All right, so with that, I want to start out with what I've got up on the screen right now, which is some commonalities of our most successful members. So if we took the agents here in this Platinum Coaching Program, which, by the way, has more millionaire and multimillionaire agents in it than any other coaching program that exists on the planet. Did you know that? That's right, we do. And that's our specialty. That's what we do. We take you to, millionaire real estate agent status and on up to net $1 million real estate businesses. That's my goal every day that I wake up to work with you here and provide you with material and content, strategy, and systems leveraging Craig Proctor and the Quantum Leap system. That's what we want to do. So if you lined them up, though, if you put them up on the stage and lined all these people up from their 1 million to, I think the person in our membership here, somebody doing close to $7 million. If you lined all of them up there, and we went down the line, and we said, hey, what is so common? What's the commonality factor among all of these super successful people? What are they? What's the number one? What's the number two? What's the number three? Like, I don't know if you have that kind of interest in success, but Napoleon Hill wrote a book on that I'm sure most of you have read. If you haven't read it, you're going to want to go get it and read it, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, but that's what it is. It's a study of the most successful people of their day, of his day, Andrew Carnegie, Harry Firestone, Thomas Edison, those guys. You're going to want to go and get that book and read it. It's very revealing on, on the commonalities of these super successful people. And just like that, there are commonalities among the super successful members that we have. And I could throw things out there, generally speaking, like they're great copiers, of what we do. They copy well and that sort of thing. We could go down that road, but let's get more specific than that. All right? Let's list a few things here, and then we're going to take a look at some of their marketing materials and what they're doing to get business, if that's okay with you. So let's look at, I'm going to look at auto numbering there. So let's look at number one, okay? This is really interesting here, but it is probably the thing that stands out in my mind the most, and I'm going to go ahead and just type it out for you. They know their numbers. Okay, so what does this mean? All right, so let's talk about this. What do you mean by knowing your numbers? Well, I have here on my desk somewhere, I laid it here, I've got it stacked under some stuff now. I have here on my desk a list of places where Laura Peterson is spending money. Okay, so let's back up. Laura was here at my office just a few days ago, and we spent about a day and a half together. It was a TW for a day event. And if you want to know how in the world she was able to get that, and you may not be able to, and it's pretty simple, she is a member of our Titanium Mastermind. So that's one of the benefits that the Titanium guys have access to is added one-on-one time with me. And obviously they're paying a bit more than the regular Platinum Premium to be able to do that. But it's well worth the money, as those people will tell you. Okay, so Laura flies in here, spends a day and a half with me at my office and my resources and my people. And one of the things that stood out to me in spending that day with her is that she gave me a list of all of the places that she was spending money. Okay, so I want you to picture this list of marketing places. It's quite a bit. It was about 15, 18 things that she's spending money on. Okay, and how much money she was actually spending on each one to the dime. Okay, and that's pretty impressive, right? Okay, so she knows that intimately, and if I went down the line of all these very successful members, trust me, every one of them knows to the dime where their money's going, what they're spending money on. Now, the reason I wanted to see the list is because I'm guessing, before I ever met with Laura, that from her closings, most of her closings are coming from just a few places that she's spending money on. And of course, that was absolutely true. So just by her sitting down and making a list of all the places, things she's spending money on, she was easily able to see what she was spending money on that she probably shouldn't be spending any more money on. Or where there were some holes. You know, I'm spending money on this and getting leads from it, but it's not materializing into business. You know, so just the sheer act of that reveals intelligence, okay, that she can act on. So this goes for every one of you. If you want to be a multi-millionaire, okay, if you want to be, then just know that sooner or later you're going to have to get really dialed into knowing your numbers, okay, what you're spending money on, and from your closings, where that business is coming from, and then making decisions, whether to scrap spending money on some of the things that you're doing, invest more in things that are working to get you closings, spending less money on the things that aren't. And it may be some tough decisions for you. Trust me. Okay? And that's why you have a coach, so that we can help you with these decisions. Don't go it alone. Now is not the time to do that. I'm going to try to remind myself, I'm going to write it down to give you my outlook and perspective on what's going on in the marketplace, especially in the United States and Canada. And I have some unique perspective to add that may shock you. So don't hang up without getting that from me. It'll be very revealing, and we'll probably tell you what you need to plan for and what you need to do here in the short term to be very, very good and profitable in the long term. Okay, so number one, these people know their numbers. Okay, so why is it a big deal? Why do these people who probably don't like numbers that much, why do they spend so much time on it? Okay, well, it's pretty simple. Craig and I believe that at some point in your real estate tenure here in our program, based on our track record, okay, of helping members, especially in our platinum level program, over the last 11 years, our perspective is that your business is going to go up, that you are going to double, triple, or more your earnings, the size of your business, the number of closings that you do, the amount of money that you make. Okay, that's our anticipation. We don't have a belief system like, okay, maybe it happens and maybe it don't. We don't think that way at all. We believe it will absolutely be the case. Okay? Our perspective is we believe you will, whoever you are right now watching this webinar, will double, triple, or more your business. That if you stick around long enough here and you're good at copy and implementing, you will have a multi-millionaire real estate business, just as we had. Okay? We believe that to be true. The reason it doesn't happen is because they quit, they leave, they're not good implementers. They have their own belief system. Okay? And, and then those kind of things get in the way. How you think about things and what you think about, how you think about things, that dictates your actions many times. So be very careful of your own belief system. when it comes to money and getting business, right? Now, the reason knowing your numbers is so important, okay, it's boring to talk about for me, trust me, but the reason it's so important is because with anticipation that your business is going to grow, you are going to have more business than you personally can get to, so you're going to be delegating the overflow of business to others. And when you begin to delegate overflow of business to others, you're immediately going to begin paying half of the commission money to others. Okay? Maybe more. So think about that. Half of the money gone to the other people that you're delegating this overflow of business to. That means that out of the half that you're able to keep, you have to pay your administrative people, you have to pay for the marketing, research and development, operational expenses, rent, and those kinds of things, and then hopefully have profit left over. So because we anticipate that's going to happen for you, overflow of leads, delegation of the overflow to others, equaling profit will really matter now. We encourage you to get focused in and drill down on knowing your numbers. Okay? Specifically, what you're spending money on. So let's drill down on this one more level, go one more level down, and then I'll move on to number 2. Oh, I'm only showing you 3 of these, by the way. So drilling down to the other level of knowing your numbers, in other words, what you're spending money on, okay, drilling down to the next lower level there, it matters because, again, you've got to make a living on the profit that's being left over because you're getting half the money away, okay? The easiest way, or the way to do this, is by tracking, source coding everything. Okay, so the rule is, and I'll just go ahead and write this down. Rule: if you can't measure it, do not do it. How about that? Okay, so let's take something simple that you may be arguing with me about, that you can't measure. Okay? And that's people calling your office. They just call you. Your name's out there, your phone number's out there, it's everywhere. You got this, presence in your marketplace, so to speak. Okay? Well, you shouldn't have a presence without being able to track things. So at the very least, somebody calls your office. When we get done with this webinar and your phone rings, somebody calls in, this is what you say. You ready? Where'd you get my phone number? How'd you get our phone number? Okay? That's it. So how'd you get our phone number? Where'd you get our phone number from? And they'll tell you. Okay? If you say, well, how did you hear about us? I see your stuff everywhere. And you'll hang up the phone and say, well, there's no way to track down. And the answer is, but they're looking at something. Your phone number is written down somewhere, and they're calling you. It's unlikely that they had it memorized in their head and they're walking around with it, because they saw a billboard 3 weeks ago. Right? It doesn't work that way. They wrote it down. So they wrote the phone number down. They're looking at something that they're calling you about. So the question is, how'd you get my phone number? Where'd you get our phone number from? Okay. So, number one commonality among our multi-millionaire Agent Platinum members, they know their numbers. Okay, so that's general. Right there, I get that. That's not specific, but I went on for the last 15 minutes and tried to be as specific on that as I could in that respect. Okay, so let's go to number 2. So number 2, what do you think it is, Andrea?
I don't know.
You don't know? You want to take a guess? Not to like getting put on the spot, like you just thinking you're going to sit there in the background.
I know. I was actually doing something else, but now I'm caught off guard.
I like that. All right, so I'll help. No need to guess because it's pretty obvious, and I'm getting like text messages now from people that are pretty perceptive on that. And yes, you're right. And it is the guaranteed sell program. That's right. So here's what's really interesting. Out of all these people, if I lined them up across the stage, okay, and I know who all of them are, they all have the same USP. Your home sold or I'll buy it. Okay, so you can glean from that whatever you want. Okay, they can make that guarantee because they're making all kinds of money, or they're making all kinds of money because they're making that guarantee or performance guarantee. Okay, but bottom line is they all have it. Okay, so again, take from it what you will. You can say, well, when I get to $2 or $3 million in GCI, then I'll say that too. Yeah, but all of these guys would tell you, well, I wasn't doing $1, $2, $3 million in income. Okay, commission income, and then begin to say it like I'm making that kind of money for my real estate business because I did it. I made the decision at a point in my real estate career to use that in my marketing. So even though this is leaked out in the industry, okay, and there's some real estate agents out there that have tried to copy this performance guarantee that Craig Proctor brought to the marketplace, to the agent level. Okay, he pioneered this at the agent level, not at the brokerage level, but at the agent level. Pioneered it, brought it to market, taught people how to do it starting back in the mid-90s. It's leaked out, okay, to some others. Okay, but our members, our guys are still the most successful with it. So it is it's number 2 on the list, man. However you want to shake it out, it's number 2. So my suggestion is that you need to figure this thing out and get it rolling. All right, so here's a good example. I paid real close attention to this little short story I'm fixing to give you. A little bit ago, just a couple hours ago, I was on the phone with a Platinum member. And Frankie and I were talking to this Platinum member about the real estate business, and I think I asked my normal question that I ask most Platinum members, which is, hey, why should I list my home with you over and above anybody else or any other option? And of course, the member has some USPs and things like that, and smart enough to know about that. But it wasn't, your home sold or I'll buy it. So, but I got, somehow I asked the question of, hey, have you ever bought real estate, invested in real estate before? And his answer was yes, I own 4 investment properties. And I'm like, bingo. So you're willing to buy any home if it's the right deal for you? And he said, yes, of course. I was like, well, holy crap, you need to be telling that story. So start on your for sale sign by saying, buy this home, I'll buy yours. But immediately, he's like, well, wait a second. I mean, even though I'm willing to buy a home, any real estate property, if it's a good deal for me, I'm not so sure how that translates into the language or articulating that better or properly for the prospects and my marketplace and that sort of. And I was like, look, dude, it's not that complicated. You're willing to buy any home if it's a good deal for you. So at the very least, you should be telling that story. Hey, I'm willing to buy any home. We just need to agree on the price. Give me a call. Like, that's a pretty simple thing to say. And since you're willing to do that, then you should be willing to implement this marketing program here. Your home sold or I'll buy it. Make that part of your unique selling proposition, your brand and marketing, and that sort of deal. Okay? Now, okay, that's number 2 on the list. All right, so hey, to help you out with that, for those of you real fast that are not leveraging this program, those of you that are, bear with me one second. Those of you that aren't, pay close attention to what I'm getting ready to show you here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the coaching site, and I'm going to go to the library, file library. I think that's going to show up on your screen. Let me see. Yeah, okay, that's showing up. Okay, so library, click file library, and in the file library down here, down about halfway down, it says Platinum Business Plans. You guys see that? Library, file library, Platinum Business Plans. Click on Platinum Business Plans. Okay, and it's ID number 1408. It's Platinum Millionaire Agent Maker Guide. Okay. Here's the guide, and it's page 43, letter L. All right, page 3, letter L. All right, so some of the questions I'm getting here as I'm looking at my notes, and again, that's page 43, letter L in the Millionaire Agent Maker Guide. I'll exactly where to go, what resources to tap for this guaranteed sale program. But some of the questions I'm getting here, on this are, well, Todd, I got a USP. It's doing pretty good. Your home sold, in 29 days, or I'll pay you $2,000, and here's another. Your home sold in 90 days, or I'll sell it for free. Here's another. Your home sold for 100% of market value. I'll pay you the difference. And look, I'm not telling you not to use those performance guarantees. I'm just pointing out to you the commonalities of our multimillionaire agent platinum members. They don't use those. Did they at some point? Sure. Of course. We all start out with something. For me, 1994. You ready for this? 1994, Andrea, your home sold in 60 days, or I'll pay you $1,000 cash. I remember rolling that out in my marketplace and shocked the entire metro area of Atlanta, it seemed like, for my little world that I was living in at that time anyway. My broker, the agents, the RE/MAX office I was at, the Georgia Real Estate Commission, you'd have thought I was burning houses down. But a funny, interesting story about that. The Georgia Real Estate Commission came and saw me. I laid out all my marketing on the table for them. The lady here from the Real Estate Commission had it all laid out ahead of time. She come in, sat down, looked at it all, and literally, it wasn't even 60 seconds. She looked at it, looked at me in the face and said, "This is really good. How come more agents don't do this?" And that was it. She got up and left. That was the extent of their, quote, investigation. So I remember that. I remember it well. It was the only time I ever met with them. So, some of you aren't as fortunate, right? But hey, look, all I know is number 2, guaranteed sale programs on the list right there. Commonality among our multimillionaire agents. Take from it what you will. You should be doing it, okay? And you will if you're not. All right, so a little bit of old hat for some of you that are already doing these things, and you're saying, just get to the marketing, Todd. Just get to the marketing. I'm getting there. Patience. Okay. Number 3. Commonalities of multimillionaire agent platinum members. Okay, you ready for this? This is really interesting. Okay, and it may not be what you think it is. Okay, there's no need to guess because I'm going to type it out for you. All right, you ready? I can picture Jim Buttrell at the last conference as I'm getting ready to reveal something, and I kind of hesitate to reveal it. I keep talking about it. The high D's in the room are about to come unglued. They're throwing stuff at me. So anyway, number 3, personality. Right, and this is interesting, huh? But this, look, again, it's just if you lined everybody up there and you did these things, this is what you get. They all have a very high personality, leverage that and position the market. They're celebrity in their marketplace. Okay? They put themselves out there. Okay? They possess and they show this unique, inescapable, magnetic personality. Pretty cool, huh? I thought that was neat, man. All right, check it out. Personality. So let's drill down a little bit more. Many of you have made this decision that you're going to promote your team. Okay? And I tried it. It didn't work as well as promoting me. Okay? You guys know the story, right? You don't know the story? All right, well, I'll give you some of the story. Okay, so I'm sailing along, doing between 400 and 500 transactions. Okay, year in, year out. National Association of Realtors recognizes me. It was written about in one of the NAR magazines. That I was in the top 20 real estate agents sales teams in the United States of America. Todd Walters. Okay, and I'm just selling along, just selling houses. Well, I got the big idea that I would sell my real estate business, and started fishing around on who might be interested in buying it. And I'm going to shoot straight with you. Craig told me not to. What do you want to do that for? And I was like, I don't know. I just it's a goal. See if I can do it. Can it even be done? And so I looked at it from that perspective. It wasn't for the money. By any means, because ultimately, I'll tell you straight, you'll probably make more money by not selling your real estate business. That's a fact. At this level, anyway. So I looked around. There was somebody within my organization that said, yeah, I want it. Okay, well, we got down the road on it, and this person threw a loop in it for me. He said, look, one of the conditions is that we need to promote the team, not you. And I'm like, yeah, but it works. Okay, we promote me, but I don't show up on the appointments. I'm not negotiating deals. I'm not talking to people on the telephone. It works the way that it is, and it makes $1 million, or roundabout in net income here. What do you want to go monkeying with it for? Well, I just can't stomach that it's got your picture on it. You're promoting you. You're not going to be here. We need to rebrand it and redo it. I'm like, that involves change. And even though I'm a high D personality, and I'm okay with change, but I wouldn't change that. We know what to expect here. When you change it to something else that it's not right now, like a name of something versus someone backing up all these things, I don't think it's going to be the same. But nothing would do. Nothing would do, so popped out Todd Walters, popped in the realty team on everything, and it was a disaster. As a matter of fact, that was a nail in the coffin for me and hastened my move out of that real estate business and facilitated the sale a year earlier than anticipated, okay, because it was over. I had let that happen, and there was no going back, in my opinion. So don't do that. All right, Craig Proctor. If you look at all Craig's stuff, look at it. It was Craig Proctor. You can promote your team. You can promote your logo or your brand. That's fine. I'm just telling you that if I lined up all of the millionaire, multimillionaire real estate agents, okay, there is a very distinct, big personality up front or behind it all. Okay? This is why I send you the first of every month this position marketing newsletter, and I write about it extensively. I study it extensively, and I just repeat to you much of what I learn and discover in the marketplace. Hey, a word on that. You know that Craig and I are experts at marketing to the affluent, right? Okay, because we go after real estate agents who are in the top 5%. That's our primary clientele, okay, that join our coaching programs that we help to go and do bigger things. Okay, so we're experts at marketing to the affluent. So we just simply take what we learn in our real estate businesses there and show you how it applies to you as well as other industry and industry studies. And I got to tell you that if you're not reading that position marketing newsletter on the first of every month, you're really missing out, because it has gold nuggets in there on how you can position yourself as the authority, the expert, even celebrity in your marketplace. And you really need to do that. That is the 3. There it is right there. Number 1, 2, and 3. Okay? I don't know if you thought that's what it was going to be or not, but there you go. In no particular order. Okay? I can keep going, but I'm not going to. I want to get into some marketing stuff here for the next 30 minutes. So, interesting, huh? Okay. All right, so let's look at some marketing. All right. Okay, let me get some water here. I got some folders here. I'm going to pause my screen for a second and pull up some things. Ooh, there is a nasty thunderstorm coming up here in Metro Atlanta. Okay, so if I lose you, if all of a sudden I go dark you know why. Hey, Andrea, you can peruse the questions there at any time. If there's something specific that had to do with what I was just talking about, you can interrupt me.
We actually, excuse me, we actually have something from Carla here. And she says about the guarantee, there's a lawsuit in California regarding agents using "I will sell your home or buy it." What would be a good backup to that program?
I buy homes for cash. Okay, so look at as a marketer, your job is to find out what your prospects want. Okay, and it's safe to say that on any given day or time or whatever, market conditions, there's going to be commonalities among the majority of the prospects that you're targeting, and that they want the same thing. Okay, there will be some commonality there that you can talk about and relate to. Okay, so for example, let's suppose right now that the marketplace is red hot where I am. Just it's on fire. A home goes up for sale, and before 2 days are over, there's 3 or 4 offers on it. Okay, well, and of course the media is writing about it, and this is all going on, and it's building. Okay, well, pretty simple. Okay, price becomes a big issue. Okay, price becomes probably the leading factor here. Time's no longer an issue. It's going to happen relatively quick. There may be another factor like fear of my home selling too fast and me not having the place to go. Okay, so I can deal with both of those things, price and the condition of having a place to go. So I can tell sellers, look, we do things a little bit differently. We tell buyers that when you go to sell your house, it's going to be conditioned upon you finding a home. Okay, so instead of the buyer coming in and saying, look, I'll buy your home conditioned on me selling mine, it's the reverse. You're selling your home to the buyer conditioned on you finding one. Okay, so we got you covered there. Right, so that's a unique selling proposition. Right, and price. Hey, we'll get you your price. We'll get you 101% of market value. We'll pay you the difference. Okay, whatever. So your job as a marketer is to know what the temperature is, what the priorities are, what the desires, needs of your prospects are at any given point in history, and being able to answer that and deliver that and give that to them. But look, you don't need to work that hard at it. That's why you're in this coaching. You have a coach. Don't go it alone. Okay? Use us to do that. Now, lawsuits suing marketers, whether it's in the real estate industry or outside the real estate industry, that is not anything abnormal. Okay? There's people, okay? And where there's people, there's going to be conflict. And where there's conflict, there will be disagreements and lawsuits filed. So your job is to do your best that you possibly can of dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's, okay, and backing up what you say. So if you're going to go down this road of guaranteed sale program, your home sold or I'll buy it, you best be able to back it up in some kind of witchy way, okay? Just be more clear. So in Craig Proctor's case, he had to tell people, what the conditions were. He wasn't immune to this criticism from the industry. Okay, they come in and say, you got to disclose all your conditions. Craig says, okay. Agent, okay, Craig and seller must agree on price and possession date at time of listing. That was the conditions. Okay, that was the settlement that was made. Okay, as a result of the conflict. That was brought down on Craig at that moment in time. You'd be wise to do the same. Just disclose the conditions, and that's a pretty simple disclosure. So hopefully that answers that question. And but there's always some sort of conflict wherever there's people, wherever there's things. Okay, none of us are immune to that. Okay, but we don't run our business, on fear. We run our business on sound philosophy, strategy. Okay, and dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Okay, so that's a good question, though. Glad it was asked. Was there anything else before I threw some marketing stuff up here?
Quickly, we have one from Eric, and it says he's typed in the agent name team ? The agent name team at brokerage, or simply agent name.
Okay, so did everybody get that? It's, okay, so I want to market, I want to establish my brand, okay? All right, so let me write that out. Okay, so here's my answer. Pick one and do that. In other words, it doesn't matter. Todd Walters and Associates, Todd Walters, the real estate team, Todd Walters and Associates, Todd Walters Remax. None of that really matters, okay? It really doesn't. Here's how you build your brand, okay?
Your screen is on pause.
Thank you. That's why I got you. That's why I got you here. Hey, there have been times, Andrea, where you haven't been here and I'm having to do this myself, and it goes on for like 30 minutes. And finally my phone is being lit up, and I look down at it, and it's like 20 text messages from Platinum members saying, "You idiot, unpause your screen." So it's a good thing you're here. All right, well, let's look at that. I'll just type this out real fast. Okay. So this right here, I'll just highlight the few things, mold it up for you, make it even a little bit bigger. Like that's the brand. So wherever my name was, so was my unique selling product. I just put them together. Okay, and Craig taught me how to do that early on in my career. So this was everywhere. The only place that it wasn't was on my for sale sign, but it did say buy this home, I'll buy yours on the rider. So I guess in that case you could say they were together. But wherever my name was, there it was. Todd Walters, your home sold or I'll buy it. What's the name of your real estate company? Todd Walters, your home sold or I'll buy it. So if I could wish one thing from all of you watching this webinar right now, it would be to rethink your logo and your design and your brand and all that stuff, okay? And incorporate into it your USP, at least a performance guarantee, some description or differentiator at the very least. Like that, you guys work so hard on your brand and your name and your logo and your design and your look, okay? But surely you know that people buy a home on average once every 7.5 years. Like they don't go back to the store next week to buy a house. Like you know all this, right? So they don't walk around with this in their mind. You may see it every day, but until they begin to enter the marketplace as a buyer or seller or consider doing that, it doesn't register. It's not like a bar of soap or a box of Kleenex tissue, okay, or Coca-Cola down at the local store. It just doesn't work that way here with what we sell, okay? So, case in point, you get referrals, right? But even from the person who gives you the most referrals, they eventually stop doing it, okay? Rarely. Out of these, what do we got today? Close to 200 people on the call. All right, out of all of the Platinum members here, okay, surely you know that the majority of people that refer to you eventually will stop. Okay, even your best referrer only lasts so long. Okay, so case in point, your name, your brand is your USP. So how do you want to do that? Okay, the best way to promote your brand, whatever you pick, your name, the real estate agent, your name, the real estate company, your team, you throw your USP in there. And don't overlook this particular commonality among these top 3 here. Please. Okay? All right. And how do you turn your USP into an offer? Insert call to action. Okay. For example, call Todd and start packing. Throw your phone number in there. Now you turn it into an offer. Man, I'm getting all kinds of crazy text messages like weather alerts. So if I get swept away, you guys know what happened to me. I got swept away. All right, so let's go back and let's look at some markings. Oh, was there anything else there? Follow up on that, Andrew? No?
That was it.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. All right, so I don't know if I answered the question effectively or not, but if you're going to promote a brand, you better promote a unique selling proposition in conjunction with it. All right? Okay, so let's take a look at a few things. I've shown you this before. I'm going to show it to you again for a very particular reason. I want you to give it a shot. Okay? This is a just sold card. Okay, I gave this to everyone at the conference. Now, there's a couple of problems with this card. Okay, so I'm going to point them out to you right now so you don't make these same mistakes. In other words, I'm going to make it better. Okay, you ready? So follow along really fast. Okay, first of all, this is a sequential follow-up marketing piece. Let me repeat. This is a sequential, which means it's in a sequence, and it's a follow-up marketing piece. Okay, this is are added to things that you're already doing. Leading with a just sold card, in other words, this is my only marketing system, I lead with that, that's not good. It's not going to be that effective for you. But as a follow-up sequence to reinforce your USP and other things that you're marketing in the marketplace, it can work. Okay, so the majority of real estate agents out there, okay, whom you are not like, the majority, they make announcements to the marketplace. Hey, I just sold the house. And then they announce it to the neighbors around the listing that they just sold. That's how the majority of real estate agents do this kind of thing, and that's not how you want to do it. Okay, first of all, there is no announcement of you selling a house. That's not a big deal. That's not a story. The people, trust me, homeowners in your marketplace, they think that's what you do. Like you say, hey, I sold a house. They look around like, okay, well, is that news? Am I supposed to be shocked or surprised by that? I mean, like, that's not the story. The story is how fast you sold it, okay, and for how much money. That's the story, right? So that's the story you want to tell. So here's what I recommend. Every 2 weeks, okay, write this down. Every 2 weeks, send this postcard with the changes that I'm going to show you. Send this postcard to all of the seller prospects in your database that you're already marketing. You're already marketing to seller prospects. They're getting stuff from you. You're calling them. You're doing things, going after these guys. So you're going to send this every 2 weeks, all the seller prospects in your database, okay? All of the expired listings if you want to, new expireds, those in the last 30 days in your marketplace. All of the for sale owners that you're marketing to in your marketplace, go ahead and send it to them. Not going to be very many. Send it to them. All the old expired 6 or 7 months ago. Okay, so everybody expired 6 or 7 months ago. You can pick your date range. All the cancels, withdrawals from 6 or 7 months ago. Okay, and you ready for this one? All of the active listings as well in your marketplace. That if your expiry rates are 30% or more, and then you're good to send it to those people. If you're a realtor, if you're a board of realtor members, NAR member, Association of Realtor Members, okay, then you want to make sure you put your, quote, required disclaimer on the card down at the bottom, right, not intended to solicit homes that are currently listed with another agent or something, whatever that disclaimer is. Make sure you put that on there. If you're a board of realtor members, if you're not a board of realtor member, some of you aren't, you don't need that on there. Okay, all right, so some issues with this card. Okay, first of all, let's deal with the just sold. I'll use a pin here. Whoops. Pin, here we go. Okay, here, every other week, you just put in a new house. Okay? Does not have to be your listing. If you sold the listing, make sure you tell them, I just sold this home. Okay? Go ahead and tell them that. If it's not your listing, then just pop in a listing that represents what it is you're trying to do. And just say, just sold, 4360 Eugene Way for 101.5% of the asking price. You could just do that. Okay, so in other words, you're making an announcement that a property sold, but that's okay. People may believe you sold it, but it gets attention, the photo and that sort of thing. Okay. Make sure the photo represents the types of homes that you're trying to list. All right? So the photo will do some work for you. So that's how that works, and that's in that box. Okay, some things that are missing here. Bill's got his picture here up in the upper left-hand corner. No problemo. Great job, Bill. Just make sure you have your name on it. Bill Watson, team leader, Watson team. Or Bill Watson of the Watson team. Just go ahead and put a name on it there so I'll know who to call. All right, that's missing. Okay, and then down here where it says, we got the buyers, that should be number 1. So move that to number 1. Okay, we got the buyers, and you really need some sort of demonstration of it. Graph chart, pie chart, something, screenshot of your database of buyers in waiting, some sort of illustration on that. I like the graphs and the charts. That's all good here. That's nothing wrong with that. But you need some demonstration of number 1, we got the buyers. Okay? So those are the things on this card. Now, on the back of the card, normal drawing tools, erase all drawings. On the back of the card, do this. Don't use this ad. Okay, don't use this. Okay, that's not a great offer. That hasn't proven to be a great offer. Okay, use the area home sales report ad. The area home sales report postcard. Find out what homes down the street are selling for. Use that on the back of this card. That's a well underutilized ad, and that'll work well in this arena of sequential follow-up. Okay, so everybody in the program can do this. It's pretty easy, and it gives you a reason to promote your brand, your unique selling proposition, and to promote it to people that you know are interested in making the move. And you'll be forced here to get consistent on some of your marketing. Okay, and what do I mean by that? All right, well, let's go back to the front page. Okay, you'll be forced to tell a better story, because this has all the ingredients for Platinum members in leveraging a unique selling proposition and building your brand. Okay, your identity, your personality with your USP. Okay, the 4 big reasons: you got the buyers, you sell homes for more money, you sell them faster, it's more likely to sell. Okay, proof by using a property that's sold. Okay, and you're in risk reversal, unique selling, your USP. Okay, so that's why I want you to do it. That's why I think it's good, it's smart, it's business. Now, let's go back to the list of people that we're targeting. Okay, and I'll read the list off one more time. Okay, active listings, if your expiry rate is 30% or greater. Okay, hit them. They're going to get this thing every other week, the people in your marketplace that you decide to send it to. Okay, if you're a Board of Realtor member, you want to make sure you put that disclaimer on there that they tell you to put on there, which is, not intended to solicit homes currently active or listed for sale or whatever. Okay, go ahead and do that so you can comply with their regulations, whatever they might be. All right, and next on the list, all the seller prospects in your database, everybody that you have in your database tagged as, so you're getting leads from editorials, Solid prospect, boom, they're going to get it. Home evaluations, bold leads, boom, they're going to get it. Some of you guys are using Smart Zip, boom, they're going to get this. Okay? And this is going to go out every other week. Just change the house around. Change the just sold out. Okay, but stay consistent with the look and the scheme and your USP. Very important you do that. Okay? Next on the list, expired listings, for sale by owners, and old expireds and old cancels and withdrawals. That's who gets this card. Okay? Now, when you go into this sandbox, and Craig talks about this frequently, when you step into the sandbox of marketing directly to expired listings and for sale by owners, understand that's a real crowded field. That's very crowded. There's a lot of people that are in there marketing to these guys as well. The advantage here is your superior marketing message. Superior marketing message. Okay? So I want to recommend that you remember that. Okay? Because you cannot enter that same box without carrying a big stick. Whack them other kids over the head. All right, so let's go back and let's look at another market. I got 3 things I want to show you here, okay? Well, some of you guys are asking about the back side of it. Let me see if I can pull that up here for you real quick.
While you're doing that, Vic had a quick question. He's asking, is it ethical if we say just sold and it's not our listing?
Sure, why not? I don't know why it would be unethical to tell people a home just sold down the road. But, you know, that's up to you, I guess, Vic. For me, I don't see a problem with telling people a house sold. Like when I go into their home, I take with me a CMA of properties that just sold in the area. So that's all I'm doing is taking one of those properties and putting it on my postcard. And I'm not saying I sold the home. If I sold it, I'm saying I sold it. If I didn't sell it, I'm not saying I sold it. You know, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say that obviously, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else do that either. You don't need to. Okay. Anyway, hope it answers your question here, Vic. And okay, here's what goes on the back side of the postcard. Hopefully, it's big enough for you to see there. But that's the area home sales report. Find out what homes in your neighborhood are selling for. Hey, I'm getting some postcards from you, some of you guys on this thing, and it's missing this illustration. This illustration here on the bottom right-hand side, where it says sample of computerized printout you will receive, that's very important. Okay, very important for you to put an illustration there of what this report looks like. Okay.
Speaking of the postcards, Bill is asking, does BXL have the new and improved mailer template?
No. No, I don't work with BXL, okay, in giving them these things that I work with the members on. So if I work with like Bill here or Warren, you know, for example, you know, like this card here from Warren. Let me unpause the screen. You know, like this one has testimonials down here at the bottom right hand side. 3 reasons instead of 4. It's a little different card. I don't give it to BXL. So that's up to the individual member if they want to use BXL for these postcards or not. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. I believe it did. Okay, so all right, let's look at a few other things that I think are very important for you, and that you want to put on your list of things to do. Okay. All right, so let me find that. Let me bring out my handy dandy stuff here. Hang on. Where are you at? Okay, here it is. All right. Next thing on the list, and I think it would be better for me just to walk you there on the coaching site, so I'm going to open that up so you can see it. And I want everybody to reproduce this direct mail piece. And then we'll look at online marketing. Okay? So here we go. I'm in Library, File Library. Click. and then down the left-hand side of your screen, there's this category down here called Platinum Expired FSBO Seller Prospect Direct Mail. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and up here, ID number 1335. Write this down, 1335. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this postcard we were just looking at, and we're going to turn it into a 4-page sales letter. Okay, so let's open that up, and this is something that you guys have seen, not just on one occasion, but several. Let's open up this 4-page sales letter here. Here we go. And there's Mr. Mark's smiling face. Okay, so this is an 11, listen real close, this is an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. Okay, 11 by 17 sheet of paper, printed on all 4 sides, folded in half. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. See that? Okay. So 11 by 17 sheet of paper. Now, why am I bringing this up to you while I've got a commanding audience on here when some of you have already seen this or are using it now? And the reason is because the stuff I'm getting in the mail, I'm looking at some stuff now, it's way messed up. Okay, so pay very close attention to what this should look like and do for you. Obviously, you can print this ID number and look at it and copy it. Okay, but some things that are very important here is Mark has adjusted the margins so he uses more of the edge. Okay, so the typing is bigger, the spacing is bigger, you put more on the page, so he adjusts the margins to do that. That's very important. Number 2 is he does a good use of doodles. That's bottom line. Just copy it out. Okay, just copy what you see right here. Right now, 11 by 17 sheet of paper folded in half is one piece of paper. There's no staples. Okay, so it becomes almost like a newsletter. And then here's what you can do. You can insert inside the newsletter, okay, other things. Okay, so what kind of other things, Todd? Well, let's take a look. Right, let's go back to down here, and here's one right here. Lottery, check it out. Lottery ticket enclosure for second mailing. Okay, well, let's look at that page. Okay, let's download that bad boy up. Download. Blow it up. Come on up here, Word document. And where you at? Didn't download. All right, let's go back here. Hang on one second. Bear with me. I'm going to figure it out. I may have too many things open here, so I'm figuring it out. Hang on. Oh, man. I want you to see that. Okay. Let me pull it up a different way. Lottery ticket. Download. Open. Wow. Formatting's all jacked up here. Okay. All right, so that's what that ID number looks like right there. How likely is it that your home loss will get sold by the agent you choose to sell it? All right. Now, I guess I can scroll that down. You guys can pull that up and look at it yourself. All right. Now, here's how this works, though. Listen really close. If you're going to use an insert, put it on a different color piece of paper and have that colored piece of paper match the envelope color, vice versa. So, if my second mailing to my seller prospect list is going to get this insert along with that 4-page sales letter that we just looked at with Mark's smiling face on it, then it's maybe on a yellow piece of paper and the envelope is yellow. Okay? If it's on a blue piece of paper, light blue, then the envelope is light blue. So have the insert match the envelope. Everybody get that? All right. Now, don't stop there. Very important, and what I'm getting ready to tell you will make you a lot of money. Okay? Your response will go up, and it'll make you a lot of money. Okay? You ready? Let's go back to my document that I was using here. Okay? Insert a selling card. Can't believe that I've overlooked this with you guys, at least some of you, and let me blow that up. So what is a selling card? Well, it's a USP card. It's your business card, but I don't like using the word business card because that describes, it conjures up a picture in your mind, and most business cards that I look at suck. So my idea is you use a card. It's basically a small version of this. So if we looked at Warren's postcard here, and we blow it up a little bit. Well, you know what? Let me show you this. Let me do it this way. Okay. If I took this part of the card, this part of the postcard right here, okay, and I put that on a index card, no smaller than a business card size card, okay, I would insert that in every mailing. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to my Word document here. So a selling card, let me get rid of the drawing. Insert a selling card. So the selling card is your pick, okay, your photo, okay, and your USP and your call to action. Now, why is it important to insert one of these in all of your mailings? Well, for obvious reasons. They can carry it with them. They can put it in their wallet. They can put it in their pocket. Okay? Your flyer is a little bigger and a little bulkier. Give them something that's mobile. Okay? And selling card, I'm telling you, if you'll do this, all of you who are on this webinar right now, consider yourself lucky. Because most of you aren't doing it. And you're like, holy crap, where did I miss that at? Okay, well, I don't know, but don't miss it anymore. Consider yourself lucky. This will make you a lot of money. But don't send that goofy business card. Okay? This is your pick, your USP, and your call to action, and they can take it with them. Okay? So, on the back of the selling card, all right, what do you put back there? Put this. Just do this for me. Okay? So just put that on the back. If you must, if you want to, you can put a website on here, right? And so you want to let's analyze this real fast. This is the back, okay? It's the back of the business card. I'm sorry, the back of your selling card. I'm looking for the website. Okay, front of the selling card, back of the selling card. Everybody get that? It's the size of this can be business card size or index card size, no bigger than that. It needs to be mobile, something they can take with them, and you insert it in every freaking mailing, direct mail, follow-up piece that you send. Okay? All right, now, this offer here, that we do have an offer on our website with that. Let me show you the landing page, okay? So let me pull that up here. It's going to take me just a second. I'm going to show it to you. Almighty. I must have too many windows up in here, man. You guys aren't looking at me typing. I still can't type in the right address. Okay. Hang on. There it is. Goodness gracious. Took me forever to find it. Okay. Here's a demo site. I like this one. Okay. Let me show you another variation of that. Go to YorkRegionHomeInfo.com. Right there. Okay, everybody get that? There's the address. You can see it there. Let me highlight that. See in the address bar? If you go to YorkRegionHomeInfo.com, if you're writing this down and trying to go slow, and you come down under sellers, right there, when will it sell? Everybody see that? Sweet. Okay, so you can do that. All right, everybody clear? You got it? Got it? Good. All right, so go back to my special surprise for you today, the selling card. Like that? I knew you would. Okay? So there's 3 simple things that some of you are doing, most of you are not. Tips on how to make it better, those of you that are doing it. Remember the colored insert, piece of paper, the Dane Kennedy flyer on colored paper. Oh, don't use the agent selection guide as an insert in your mailings. Okay, don't do that. It's not what it's intended for. Use the others. You guys know what I mean? The agent selection guide. Man, I may have opened up a can of worms here. The agent selection guide. So let me go back to the coaching site here. Dane Kennedy material. Library, file library, Dane Kennedy material. Okay. This down here, ID 553, 552, 551, 550. Okay, don't be blind archery. That's the agent selection guide, selection factors chart, facts and answers. They don't promote you. Okay, they don't push your agenda. They don't promote your brand or your USP. Don't use those as inserts. Those are better suited for prepping someone as part of pre-selling materials like the bomb. The agent selection guide is a separate thing. Okay, it just gets your prospect thinking about how they're going to interview real estate agents. So that's not really conducive to your follow-up now. Don't use the agent selection guide. Okay, hopefully I'm making sense there. And if not, you get with your coach, get a clarification on that, or zip me an email, ask me. Okay, so Andrea, looks like we might have generated a question or two there.
We do. Speaking of the updated versions, I believe, of the postcard, Eric asked, where do we get them since they're not on BXL?
Where do you get an updated version of the postcard like the one that I just highlighted? I guess
believe
is what
so.
you're asking.
The ones when they were asking if they were on BXL, and you were like, no, only I have a copy of those.
Oh. Well, everybody has this postcard, like this just sold card. Like I gave it to everyone at the last conference. Okay, so it's on your memory stick. But again, it was missing some things, so I used the opportunity of this webinar to tell you how to improve on it, okay, and what to put on the back. So if you don't have it, if you weren't at the last conference, that's a bummer. Dude, you miss a conference, you miss a lot. Everyone's different and has different things going on. So if there's something here that you've seen today and you don't have, and you can't find it or whatever, just give me a call or send me an email or send me a text. platinum@toddwalters.com is my email address there, platinum@toddwalters.com for this kind of thing. You can send me a text. You guys got my cell phone number? 770-355-8010. I've been getting all kinds of text messages since we've been talking here, Andrea, from weather, the friggin' weather alerts. Like it's crazy stuff happening. That's 770-355-8010. So hopefully that answers that question. But all this stuff's on the coaching site too, like these cards. Okay, if you go to the coaching site, platinum lead generation category, hey, look right there. Holy moly! What do you know, Andrea? It's the very first one. ID 1435. Plat just soul card example. So anyway, that's probably mean to say, but it's all there. Like we don't hide anything from people. All right, next question.
Brian wanted me to remind you to give the market update.
See there, I would have forgot. All right, so let's wrap up the webinar with this. And what I'm going to tell you will be shocking and probably controversial. Okay, but just nothing new. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about that I talked about at the conference is your commissions. Okay, so, and the next thing I want to talk about is online leads that you guys are getting from online sources. And then I want to talk about, real briefly, housing sales, house sales. Okay, so let's see, commissions, online leads, and house sales in general. Okay, so these are the three things I want to address real fast. Okay, commissions. In your MLS, there is a behind-the-scenes shuffling of MLSs and companies trying to put local MLSs out of business. You'll begin to read more and more and more news on the open marketplace about real estate brokers and boards trying to protect their tough. They're not going to go down without a fight. But at some point in our careers, there will be a national MLS, probably somebody like Zillow, or maybe somebody we don't know right now will come in and pull this off, like Rupert Murdoch, as he is doing in Australia right now. Which, when that happens, there will be zero commission advertised to buyers agents. So just letting you know, it's coming. So Craig and I have been telling you this for a long time, that until at some point in your career, you need to make a choice here on setting your fee as a buyer's agent. Okay? Everybody got that? So commissions are on a downward trend for buyers, agents in the MLS. That's not a big shocker for you. Okay, you've seen that coming. You've seen them going down even as marketplace is slow. Okay, commissions for buyers, agents seem to go down and down and down and down until there won't be any. Okay, or it'll be all over the place. It may be 5% on one home and it may be 0 on another. So don't be surprised by those things. Okay, that's a trend. It's developing even faster than I thought it was. I originally said maybe those of you guys that are just now getting in are going to be in for 10 years from now. But you might see it. But holy crap, it's going to happen. Right? So this is why you're in the right place. Okay, no need to go it alone. Okay. Online leads. Many of you have Commissions Inc., and what I'm going to tell you is not a surprise. Many of you are using pay-per-click marketing systems right now. In Canada, you're immune to this at the moment. In the United States of America, your online traffic, the leads that you're getting from your online marketing systems, is going to continue to go down. Okay, what you're paying to get a lead will go up. It's going to cost you, so if you're getting 100 leads on $100, okay, well, you're going to get 50 leads on $100, for example. I don't know, what the numbers are going to shake out to be, but I'm just telling you that online traffic will continue to go down. Okay, why? Okay, well, I don't know, but it's going down. I mean, it's a clear trend. It's not a shocker. Okay, look, there's lots of reasons. Okay, number one, a crowded marketplace. There's more and more and more companies vying for online traffic. People are getting good at figuring out how to get leads online. And then you've got people like Commissions Inc. that are good at capturing the leads and keeping them. Their site's really sticky. Okay, but it doesn't change the fact that the traffic is going down. There's less people, okay, for the amount of things that are available on the internet. Okay, all right. Increased competition, number one. Number two, demographic changes in the marketplace. More and more baby boomers are getting out of the marketplace. We're at that point in history where the baby boomer crowd, getting older, getting out of real estate, dying, leaving the planet, scaling down, emptying the nest, on and on and on and on. Okay? So when your largest demographic group, your largest population group decides to exit the marketplace, of course, there's going to be less home sales. Of course, they've been a big driver for the last 10 years. They're gone. Okay? All right, so another reason, supply and demand. Okay, look, over the next few years, there's going to be fewer house sales. Demand for housing is going to go down. Okay, and I just mentioned to you why, so all these things are impacted. Okay, so why are house sales going to decline? All right, well, they're not going to decline for everyone, but if you're in a city that has been primarily propped up by artificial money, okay, now you're like, okay, well, what do you mean artificial money, Todd? Well, Miami, okay, investor money, foreign money, okay, being pumped into that marketplace when houses shot way down, right? They got cheap. So they got cheap and also they jumped way back up again. Like, where does the money come from? It's coming from outside places. It's not the local marketplace that's doing that. It's outside money. Okay, well, guess what? When the election comes around, the Fed is primarily going to stop pumping money into the marketplace. They're just going to. It's going to be a change in management, and money's going to become a little more scarce. They're going to stop pumping into the marketplace with some monetary changes, and they're going to be forced to do that. They've already started to slow. That's going to push up interest rates. That's going to push available money down, and foreign investment's going to decrease. So your places like Seattle and Vancouver and Phoenix and Miami and other cities like that around the North American continent, you're going to experience some backwards movement on home sales. Okay, it's just the way it is. Some of you guys are already seeing this. Okay, so this is not a surprise. Okay, now, look, I just make it my business to study and learn these things so I can pass it on to you. You'd be wise to be ahead of the game as well. Okay, so that you can capitalize on these waves. All right, now here's the great thing. Through every recession in the last 20 years, okay, that I've been selling real estate, that Craig's been selling real estate, through every housing downturn, our businesses got bigger and better because we're marketers. So there's no need to go it alone. You want to stay engaged in this program. Now is more important than ever to be a part of what we're doing here. Get more dialed in with your coach. Pay closer attention to the webinars. Mystery shop your business. Allow me to do the same. Get to the workshops and the conferences and get dialed in specifically on how to market-proof your real estate business through expansion. Expansion of your business is more market-proof than growth. Okay, so those of you that have decided, you know what, and there's been a few people. There's been about a dozen people over the last 3 years that have quit our platinum level coaching program and just decided that they were only going to do, Commission Inc. Todd, thanks for turning me on to Commissions Inc. I appreciate that and help me get it going. I'm just going to quit the coaching now, and I'm just going to use that. It's doing great. Okay, well, that was stupid. That was as dumb as putting all your eggs in the REO basket, thinking, oh, well, REO's here to stay. Okay, well, dude, I'm telling you, there will be shifts, there will be trends, there will be changes in technology and supply and demand in the marketplaces. You must forever be an entrepreneur, okay, and a marketer of your thing. All right, now I'm going to leave you with this. I get a call from a prominent platinum member not too long ago. Okay, this is within the last 2 weeks. And the prominent platinum member, if I mentioned his name, you would know who he was. Okay, and he said, Todd, I'm just having a change of philosophy now. I've been at this for a while, and I no longer want an incredible, prospering empire. It's been difficult. I've had some ups and some downs. So I just think I'm going to do my, $3 or $4 million a month in gross sales volume, and cherry pick the listings and go out there, and I'm just going to do that for a while and spend more time traveling. So I'm listening to them, and I understand, like, growing a business is not easy. it's difficult. If it was easy, a lot of people, way more people would be doing it. Okay? There will be trials and tribulations. Okay? Craig and I were not immune to these. Okay, but as I'm listening to the member, and I'm saying, okay, man, well, I hope it goes well for you. I mean, he's not going anywhere, still in the program. He's just kind of telling me what he's going to do. And I said, well, okay, hey, before we hang up, I need to give you one piece of advice. And I know you're not asking me for it. You're kind of telling me what you're going to do, but I'm going to give you this advice. And you need to listen really, really, really close to what I'm getting ready to tell you. Long pause. I said, without the entrepreneur, your business will go backwards. It will fail. You will go out of business. Well, this is what you signed up for. Okay? If you think that you're going to hang your entrepreneur hat on a shelf or on a hook somewhere and just go be the manager or the technician, you're sadly mistaken. You're going out of business. So many of you right now, your problems can easily be solved. Your business can grow and flourish beyond what it is right now if you'll just take that little hook hat off the hook there, the entrepreneur hat, and put it on. Okay, get more engaged with your coach in what we're doing here and become a copier, better implementer of what you have access to. And you know what? You too will be a multi-millionaire real estate agent if you want that. All right, so with that, looking forward to seeing all of you in California who live in California at the November 15th and 16th workshop. So here we go. I waited till most everybody was off the webinar to announce this because I only have room for a few. And I got room for 60 Plats and OSAs. Okay, so let me throw this up there and blow this up really big. This is my first official announcement of it. Pow! Jeez, it didn't work. There we go. Okay. Room for 60. Okay. November 15th and 16th. Okay. In sunny and cold at the same time. I don't know how that works, but San Francisco. Okay. So I can take you and 3 people from your team, or 3 people from your team total, excuse me. So this is good. So if you're in California and you want to come to San Francisco and you want me to train you and your team for 2 days, do it. This is a Platinum OSA workshop. Now, it normally takes us 2.5 days to go through everything in a workshop, but I'm cramming it all into 2 days. So we're going to start a little earlier. We're going to go to 9 o'clock at night. So be prepared for some long days. We will take breaks and dinner and all that kind of stuff, but so you and your salespeople, if you're in California, get them here. Okay, you can register via the coaching site. This is the Platinum OSA workshop. That's on the coaching site yet, by the way. I may be ahead of the game here. Holy moly. All right, email Ruth at I don't see it on here. Okay, Adrian is building out a registration system. So let me give you an email address here. Hang on, don't freak out on me. Let me tell you why, if you're not in California, you don't want to come, and I'm going to tell you why here in a moment. Okay, Ruth at craigproctor.com. I'll put that email up here. Wow, man. I've got a bunch of Word documents open. Okay. Ruth at Craig. Hang on, let me be helpful if I show it to you. Ruth at craigproctor.com. Okay. So please limit to 3 from your team. Okay, I have room for 60. Okay, that's it. Now, that's not very many. You get 220 Platinum members here. What are we going to do? Well, that's okay, because we have our next OSA workshop is January, okay, in Orlando. Remember I said we're coming to a town near you. Okay, so this one we have room for 200. Okay, it will be big and we'll have some extra things going on there. So it's in January in Orlando. Okay, so that's how I want to do this. So if you're in California, you want to come to the San Francisco Platinum OSA workshop, I recommend that you do. Get you and your key sales guys there, and let's go to work, man. For those of you who aren't able to make that, I will see you in January in Orlando at the Platinum OSA workshop. And you're asking me for the dates on that? Hey, Andre. Hey, what's the dates on the January workshop? 24th? 24th and 25th. So says Andre LaFountain here. Let me look at my calendar. Yep, 24 and 25. I'll write that down for you. Hang on. 24 and 25 in Orlando. And we can handle 200. Okay? So there's a registration system that, is Adrian done with that registration system yet? I didn't see. Yeah, it didn't show up on mine. Oh, shit, here it is, Platinum Workshops. Cool. Look, we have our own little button here. You guys see that? Under the Schedule tab, Platinum Workshops. Let's click on it, see what happens. It says, if you'd like more information, email Ruth. That's really good. All right, so they're working on getting the agendas up there and all the cities that we're doing the workshops in for you. And the tech guys are working on it. So I'm a little ahead of the time, but we need to go ahead and let you know about the one coming up in San Francisco. So that's funny. All right, so there you go. You got it? All right, good. All right, so with that, that's going to wrap up our webinar. And I know you guys got other things to go to, like go sell some houses. I'm sorry Jim wasn't able to join us today because I had some good stuff to share with you from him. So we're going to take a rain check on that for next month. And I'll interview Jim and run through his marketing materials. He apologized. He just got tied up with James at the half day in San Diego. So no problemo. You guys go back to work. Go sell some houses. Andrea, thanks for your help as always. Looking forward to seeing you guys at one of the upcoming workshops right here as we round out this fantastic 2014. All right? Go sell big. Talk to you soon now. Take care.